not only Southeast Asia as well as China. Okay, in her guidance, the company, okay, Consus has grown a very significant growth in adding new business and has been recognized as the best service provider, okay, in the region. So this is a very proud achievement, right, that we can perhaps today Ms. Madhuri can share the tips, okay. And then she has been also known for strong customer relationship and employee engagement skill. This is something that we are lacking here, all the students. So perhaps you can pay full attention, okay, on her talk today and learn something new today. As well as, okay, Ms. Madhuri also strongly believe in simplifying the customer procurement needs and build the sustainable procurement transformations roadmap for them. So this is something that we are looking at as well, okay, towards the IR 4.0, okay, because sustainable procurement is very, very important, right? So hopefully, okay, by today's sessions, we can learn a lot of new things from her. And please bear in mind also this approach that her introduced in the company also has been help her and her team in delivering some of the key procurement project successfully and able to maintain 98% of customer retention rate. So wow, this is a very great achievement. Okay, on top of it, Ms. Madhuri, you also have more than 16 years experience in leading telecommunications and supply chain across the India, China, and Middle East. Hopefully, you can share your valuable experience to all of our students today. Okay.
Sure.
So I leave it to you. Okay, I leave it to you. All right. So students, please pay attention. If you have any questions, you perhaps may post in our chat box, and then I will read for you after the talk. Okay. Okay, Ms. Madhuri, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siti. It's a great pleasure. Good morning, everyone. And it's a shame that we are not able to meet face to face, but I'm very glad that Dr. Siti, Karen, and entire LSA team has arranged this virtual session today. It's an honor for me as well. So let me first share my slides, then we can begin from there. And Karen has told me that I should be talking about the agenda as well. So just see the slides.
There's a bit echo at your side, Madhuri. Yeah, the sound is not clear. Perhaps somebody using the other laptop or near, have to mute lah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, is it better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So please let me know if my screen is fully visible.
Yes, you can see very clear.
All right. Okay. So let me introduce myself first before I begin with the agenda and a little bit about Consus Global as well. So my name is Madhuri Govilkar. I manage Southeast Asia business for Consus Global. I am also a yoga practitioner and certified yoga instructor. I also have been doing a lot of gardening lately. I think all to blame our coronavirus since Feb and March, started growing tomatoes and capsicums and chili in my backyard. So, I mean, Dr. Siti actually, yeah, it's interesting actually. So, Dr. Siti already told about, my 16 years experience. But first 10 years, actually, I worked in telco industry. I'm a electronic and telecommunication engineer. After working with Nokia, Siemens, Vodafone, Huawei, all these companies in Middle East, Southeast Asia, India, China, 7 years back, I actually joined Consus Global, and that's where my supply chain journey began. And I'm very glad that happened for me. So a little bit about Consus Global. I think most of you already know about Consus Global since we have a huge presence in this market. So Consus Global, we are a procurement and supply chain service provider globally. We have been also awarded as a leading, procurement service provider for, consecutive 3 years. We have been operating out of 7 different strategic countries and covering, all the regions, mostly like Americas, Middle East, Southeast Asia, India, most of our company resources, if you notice that, we have around 120 plus supply chain practitioners. And I think they cover 95% of our resources, and the people who, keep talking like me probably are 5% in the company. So it's also very proud to say, it's very proud to say that most of our clients are with us, since inception. They have been, we have actually achieving this 90% retention rate, as Dr. Siti mentioned. And there is main, yeah.
It's not easy, it's not easy task.
Sorry?
It's not an easy task to maintain the rate.
It is not. It is not. But I think our founder and CEO is very visionary. The way we have built our network and the way we have been running our company, it's very customer centric. So we really focus on our customer needs. We have been ahead of technologies. We have been also noting the changes which are happening, whether it's because of the crisis or, political reasons or, so we just have to be, we have to keep changing with the time and with the customer needs. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that even after 7-8 years, most of the clients who, signed with us that time, they are still with us. So that's very important, to mention, I think, here. And I think I will cover some of those points, why and how we should be doing that, as for the students as well. So, our offerings, as I mentioned, we are, the supply chain and procurement service provider. Our offerings are very industry agnostic. We have food and beverages clients. We have, healthcare industry clients, steel manufacturing, a lot of process manufacturing. So it's quite a mixed bag. So being agile and transformative is our focus, and as I mentioned, very customer centric. So let me just tell you a little bit about what kind of offerings do we have, what do we offer in the market. So this is a very quick service overview. We do provide supply chain advisory. So what that means, in supply chain advisory, we actually look into the supply chain strategies, business process transformation, inventory optimization, throughput enhancement, of course, the major component as a cost, leadership, visibility, working capital optimization, and last but not the least, I think the digital strategy and roadmap creation for our clients. So that's about the supply chain advisory. We some of our flagship services such as strategic sourcing. I think 95% of our clients are using our strategic sourcing to get their hard dollar savings. We have our offering which actually gives a guaranteed savings. So it is very promising and risk-free for customers. And even during pandemic, we have seen, increasing surge in demand, and the requirements coming for particular services. At the same time, we do offer services around the other procurement areas like purchase request, PR management, PO processes, invoice automation, vendor outreaching, all those various things. Dr. Siti, is my video visible to you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see.
Okay.
Video? You mean video? Video or slide?
Video slide is okay, but Miss Poonam, not Miss Poonam, Miss Madhuri, I think your echo sounds from your side is actually a bit loud.
Still there.
Yeah.
It's still there, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, just let me see. 1 minute. Okay, I do not have anybody logged in. Can you just check in another room if anybody's logged in? we actually logged out from all other computers. This is the only computer which is logged in. Okay, maybe I'll continue, and my colleague Addy will look for that. So we do also implement, source to pay or full suite, solutions, integrating with their ERP solutions or other digital platforms. And at the same time, we also have incorporated AI-driven data management and insight capabilities. We have our own in-house tool for that, through which we have been giving great visibility to suppliers on their total spend, their supplier PO, invoice data. So that's a great visibility based on which they can make their strategic decisions, improve their processes, and definitely look for avenues to reduce further cost. So before we begin, let's quickly go through the agenda for today. Okay, so we will, I think we are right on time. We have done, I think, registration and introduction is done. So let's, start with our 45 minutes of, drive into the world of supply chain, or, the past, present, and future of supply chain, which I will be, talking on today. Then let's take a quick break. And after the break, probably 15 minutes break, and we will be back for some question answer sessions. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so let's begin, yeah? Okay. All right. So as we have to actually start with the history of supply chain, and, first of all, you guys have been studying supply chain and logistic management. I'm sure you know more than me. In theory, you have studied all these things, and supply chain history is a quite evolutionary. I mean, if you study, it's find very, very interesting. It's been probably last 100 years since all this the journey for supply chain probably started. But I think, we can't really cover all of that. What we can do is let's really talk about some of those notable milestones which happened in supply chain since 1940s and 1950s. So, in around, 1940s and 50s, I think the whole the conceptualization started, around the logistic research and warehouse management. So when with the machines, the invention of machines, everybody started how they can increase their processes. For example, how they can reduce their labor-intensive processes using machines. For example, pallets, right? The pallets came up at that time. At the same time, racking, when you look at the space management or space optimization for your warehousing, using racks, basically the journey began. And all this got extended even for transportation, right? I mean, at that time, the trucking, shipping, I think railway came up, and all those things basically, just got incorporated for, there was a intermodal development happened for containers, so that alongside this shipping and trucking and trains to handle this containers. So was it already a supply chain management? No, I mean, it was, I would say, a lot of prerequisite, to start or to get that concept of supply chain. At this moment, everybody was still using their ledgers and all manually in their, own papers and all that. And then, the freight transportation actually has taken another leap, from the railways and all. I think it got more into the truck transportation. And when that happened, there was a serious need for a joint consideration of, your warehousing, material handling, packaging. And that's where the concept of the physical distribution came up, right? So that was a lot of consolidation which happened by 1980s. And it was also a time when a lot of academic centers or research centers started doing in-depth research around this warehousing, material handling, their production and distribution, to create those different aspects, create the best practices, and fine-tuning the definitions of all those business units, I would say. And because this all happened in 90s and 80s, right now probably we have those concepts clear, and when we have actually got the computerization and internet, all these concepts got very handy for us to, with the help of technologies, to basically take it to the another level. So, and then the millennium year happened, right, in 2000, when, with the information technology, when it became a big thing. That's where I think that shift from logistic management to supply chain management happened, where there was a lot of, consolidated efforts with supply chain, IT, marketing, sales, strategic planning, finance, all that happened together. So between 2000 and 2006 or 2010, because of the internet information technology, a lot of ERP solutions were already got deployed by most of the large organizations. So I'm sure you know ERP, which is the enterprise resource planning tools. And as a supply chain practitioner, trust me, I mean, even till today, deploying these ERP solutions is one of the most expensive and tedious tasks. And I can totally imagine how difficult it would have been, 10 years, 20 years back. But at the same time, despite all these difficulties deploying all these ERP solutions, they brought tremendous improvement in data availability as well as data accuracy. So that, I think, is definitely a game changer, and then I think, a lot of digitization happened after that, right? Because once the technology is available, you started getting technology for every challenge you have. So that's somehow, the present and future looks like, I would say, because right now, whether it's production and distribution, your inventory management, transportation, shipping, taking your customer feedback, or looping it back as to your factories for your production. So I think there is a seamless connection or integration with all this. But that's the change. I mean, from the history where we have seen, gradually how the evolution happened, and then with internet, I think we just have a lot of technologies to cater all these various problems and take up a speed. So, I was talking about ERP solutions, right? I mean, similar to ERP solutions at Consus, we have been deploying, full suite procurement, end-to-end procurement solutions, which covers sourcing, supplier management, contract management, procure-to-pay, invoicing, or even analytics. So I remember, 7 years back when I joined the industry, every time we used to go and meet CIOs, and they had they were always like putting us down. No, you can't go ahead with the cloud computing. We need to have the on-premise solution. So that was a need. And now I'm sure, all you professionals, when you will go and join the companies, probably you would not even know that challenge, because by as in today, cloud computing has been widely accepted, and it has just become like a normal thing. Of course, because of the obvious benefits of it, right? From the cost to flexibility, the data management, everything. So, of course, the security measures have increased so that more and more CIOs and more companies, even public sector companies, have been, showing their acceptance towards this cloud computing. So that's, some of the changes which have happened from history to present, I would say. So before even we dive in more, What I would like, actually, what I have done for you is I just tried taking these four important trending indicators of supply chain. And I think they are very interesting. I'm not going to bore you because I have got a lot of examples to show you. So that instead of just, because you have been learning a lot of theory, I don't think I have to really go into the definitions and, what that means. I'm sure you can actually explain me what this means better than myself. However, how about we just incorporate some of the examples and make it a bit interesting? So let's begin with this. So the first, and I think a very important and most impactful, change or the trend is definitely digitization. We are not going to go back to the manual word again, right? As I mentioned, we have technologies for everything, but from the technologies, now we actually have the challenge to actually create a seamless digitization, right? So what that means? So it basically creating a smart, efficient supply chain management ecosystem by removing all the silos, and creating a transparent, more resilient, and more responsive system. So, what that going to give to the leadership or even to the supply chain professionals like you and I is going to give us that wholesome, view of end-to-end supply chain. Whatever is happening. So it's in a simple way, probably there are going to be sensors in every step of supply chain. So, it will circle back. It will always be easy for us or for the organization to make the more informed decision. I think that's the right term to use. Yeah. So this then after the digitization, I'm going to talk about the green and circular supply chain, omni-channel supply chain, and agile supply chain. So about the digital, supply chain, end-to-end supply chain, how it's going to look like, I have taken this picture from the McKinsey, one of the McKinsey paper, since I found it very interesting. You can see, they have this predictive shipping, how, they have been telling the customer that, if you, give our delivery in a shorter time, between 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., we will offer, we'll get a 5% discount. So, it's coming up with all different ideas. So that's the whole seamless connection which I was talking about. And how that is possible is because we have, we will be incorporating a lot of technologies, of course, a lot of artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, and there's a lot of analytical angle to it. So while we're talking about analytical or analytics, we do offer analytics, by the way. So probably, and since we have been working with so many customers, I think I can share some aspects to that. So in many cases, most of the companies are still working on their historic data to understand, their companies, where the data lies and, all the information. Because with the big data, it's like all sort of data is available. It's just that we need to understand how to make the best use of that data. So as, we have been, in analytics, we have been doing this descriptive analysis. From that, this, predictive analysis, and then some new kid in the block, which is prescriptive analysis. So all these things are like prescriptive analytics and all. It's a way to go. I think that's a future what we have been talking about. And even the predictive analysis. I mean, when we talk about the predictive analysis, it's a one term, but it can get, you can fragment it for various different business units, in supply chain. For example, predictive shipping. I don't know how many of you know this, but Amazon has actually patented the predictive shipping for future. So I actually requested our marketing head Poonam to share the link during the break. It's a very interesting video and we all should definitely watch it. But just for everybody's interest, I just got this, example for you. So this is the predictive shipping model patented by Amazon. You know that Amazon has already started, delivering the parcels in US using drones, right? But they have their limitation, right? Drone can't go like too far, and within like a shorter distance only they can do these deliveries and all. So that's the main challenge. And to really, extend it to another level, Amazon has been actually thinking of doing this three different models. Either it can be a flying warehouse altogether, in which there will be drones and they will be delivering, coming back to the warehouse. Second one is charging these drones using street lights. And the last one is the beehive model, which they can build outside the main cities. And, you can see how those drones can just go make the deliveries and come back. So interesting future, yeah, for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about the digitization. I think it can be a separate topic altogether. And very, very interesting. There are a lot of technologies available. And it is important for, as a student or upcoming supply chain professionals, I would say, before you make your career choices, please go through all various technologies available in the market, so that, you guys are very lucky, because unlike many other industries, so within supply chain itself, it is so big that you can make your career choices in, various different business units, right? Either you can be in IT, you can be doing this analytics, or you can be in the large organization, maintaining their supply chain, or you can be a procurement practitioner. So many choices. So it's good for you to at least have a good overview of various technologies. Talk to companies like us, talk to other companies who are been, having or offering these different services and products in the market in supply chain. Okay, so the next the trending indicator is actually a green and circular supply chain. And Dr. Siti also said that, you guys have been talking a lot about sustainability, and that's definitely a future. I mean, let's look at as a consumer, that, we always think that, where my product is coming from, and whether, what I have been buying, how it is going to get recycled. So previously, it was just a linear supply chain. I don't think so. Companies thought about what they are going to do once the product has been used and discarded. But there is a major shift in supply chain thinking. And all that is a very recent one. I think all the environmentalists and all are making a lot of noise, and finally a huge change has been seen. And it is not a small change, because this particular supply chain indicator is going to be defining their profit margins in future. So this is a very, very serious factor for everyone. That's drawing done by my son. He wanted me to add this here. So, I just want to show that, the kids of 8-year-old to all the supply chain practitioners like us, or even as a normal consumer, I think the focus is very much to thinking that, the green environment. So what actually is a green supply chain? Basically, it is integrating, environmental thinking in every step of your supply chain, whether it is your product designing, your what you call the sourcing material, manufacturing, handling, and all the way to the final product. So most of the companies right now are using their creative juices to think that how their raw material can come from this, the green initiatives. At the same time, the other one is the circular supply chain. Why I added it as a part of the green, because I thought, they jive very well with each other. Green, circular is basically, what goes out, again, it comes back in, right? So I'm just going to take a small coffee break, and I'm going to show you one Adidas case study, because more than what I can explain, I think this Adidas 3-minute video gives a lot of insight to us. Yeah. tell me if you guys can already see this. Somebody just tell me once the video is started.
Is the video playing?
Are you able to see it?
No, no, no.
No.
Oh,
I think you need to share to the video because right now we're seeing the slide.
okay.
Yeah.
How do we do that now? Wait.
I think it's under share, and then you can change what you want to share on screen.
Okay.
But I'm not getting the. Is it now visible?
Yes.
We're seeing your
Okay.
website now. Yes, we're seeing the Business Insider video now.
Okay.
Without the voice, yeah.
Okay. I just started from the.
Okay. Miss Madhuri.
Yeah.
The voice is not there. Perhaps in the three dots too, you have to turn off the turn on the
Okay.
which one, yeah?
How about Miss Karen or Poonam? Can you share it on my behalf? Karen, you have this presentation. Okay.
Yep. Okay, I'll try to share it on that.
Every year. Manufacturing
Okay, guys. Okay, now.
use requires a lot of
It's quite soft.
The
Okay.
sound, can you?
Never mind. What we can do is we can share the link for students to have a look at it later on.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay. So let me share my screen again.
Hi Madhuri, this is Poonam.
Yeah.
I've just shared the link via chat with everybody.
All right. Thanks, Poonam, for that.
Thank you.
It's a very interesting video. So since we are not able to see it right now, maybe I will just talk a little bit about these green supply chain. So what this Adidas video talks is, basically they have got their new sneakers and their new clothing line from the plastic waste, which they have collected from the Maldives ocean and all. So that's a very important initiative, and it's not just Adidas, but also many leading luxury brands, like even Prada. Prada has coined this new, line which is called Re-Nylon. So similar to Adidas, they have been also, working on this ocean waste and creating, their new projects. But at the same time, is it just the luxury brands? Then no. Most of the governments, I mean, look at Malaysia government. Malaysia government has told us that by 2030, the environment is going to be totally zero single use plastic, right? That's what we have been looking forward to. Similarly, most of the other governments who have not taken any initiative or just taken initiative, they all have been talking in the same line. The Burberry, you might be knowing already that most of these luxury brands like Burberry, Louis Vuitton and all, they destroy their old stocks every year ruthlessly. So Burberry last year, July, they promised that they are not going to be anymore destroying their old stockpiles, but rather they are going to reuse, repair, or donate or recycle these products. At the same time, Louis Vuitton or LVMH has, bought some stakes in Stella McCartney, which is London's, sustainable fashion brand as we all know it. So, everybody is just trying to take their own initiatives around it. So that's about the fashion industry. Probably very easy for us to understand. But at the same time, look at the companies like Nestle, Coca-Cola, Danone, or our clients like Dole. They all have been talking about, waste-free, packaging or waste-free supply chain. That's going to be their future. And they have very serious commitments. If you go through and Google about them, then they have been talking about 100% going zero environment. I mean, creating that zero environmental impact by 2030. So all in all, what I see is the next 10 years or the next one decade is going to be bringing all these changes. Everyone is just thinking through how they can create this good impact, and I think it's very pleasant change to see. And as you guys, when you will be in the market and start working, this is going to be one of the important indicator or consideration for you all in your supply chain journey. So the next one is the omni-channel supply chain. I just Okay, so I just went to take my Starbucks card to show it to you. So before I actually explain this omni-channel, I want you to think through as a consumer again, right? As a consumer, right now we are spoiled by choices, right? I mean, we don't just think of just going to a same shop and buying the same product. We just have a lot of choices and we like that variety. But that's about the product. But again, at the same time, how their customer services, what kind of different options do I have to buy from? So all those things basically creates a new supply chain management now. It's no more just the single shop. So see what we guys have done during coronavirus. We were, of course, going to Jaya Grocer, Aeon, Tesco. We were hoarding everything from their shelves, but at the same time, we were so panicked that we were also doing the online shopping on their website. Like we were going to Tesco online, Jaya Grocer online, and all those. And we all observed that, in first 2 months, it was a bit disrupted. I mean, Jaya Grocer, Tesco, their deliveries were delayed for 2-3 months. They were not able to deliver it because it was a sudden change in their supply chain and they were not really ready for that kind of disruption. So, while we are talking about technology, I think technology doesn't think about the crisis. So all these trends, whether it's digitization, whether it's the green and supply chain or omni supply chain, all this analytics and everything. I think the crisis, your geopolitics, your economy dips, all these factors, the real life factors, affect the supply chain speed. I mean, some of these trends will get a good speed because of this, or some of them might get delayed. So these all are also important, considerations for all of us. So why I was showing you this Starbucks card is like, the Starbucks just offer you this for free, right? You go to their shop, they load some money in it, and you can just on the go, you can buy your coffee. So sometimes when I go for my run, I don't carry my phone or I don't carry my wallet. I can just carry this on my way back. I can buy my coffee and come back. Or, that's my Sephora account. I just took a screenshot of that. So that actually shows my reward points, so that's another way of how companies are thinking to connect with their consumers. I think it's for everything. Like, we go through Cotton On and all so many different restaurants and, big what do you call, the hotels and resorts. Everybody have their memberships and reward points, which you collect, and you keep going back to those companies to buy their products. The B series is actually one of the Burberry initiative, that's especially for Generation Z like you guys, where I think on every 17th month they give these special promotions, and you can actually buy from Instagram. So, so that's another change, it's not just the online shopping, it's not just the going to the shop and purchasing things, but also using various different factors like Instagram influencers and, throwing all these different promotions through different social media websites and all. So companies are getting creative and they are thinking out of the box to create that, omni-channel around this. So omni-channel basically is multi-channel with the single touch integration to basically create a superior, customer experience, customer service experience from the single channel to multi-channel and then the omni-channel. So that's an important trend, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So last point, what I have today is actually the agile supply chain. So agile supply chain is, again, as a consumer, if we look at it, it's much easier to understand than just studying it as a theory. So, when you go to Zara and Mango, especially girls can relate this to quicker. If you go, now and to buy some dresses or shoes, and then again after 2 to 3 weeks later, if you go and check, their products have changed. The dresses have changed, the shoe line have changed. So you just see how fast, they create that variety, how fast they clear up their old pile of clothes and just put up the new one. So agile supply chain is basically, I think it's for the fast fashion, is definitely for FMCG, all these industries. Maybe not, I'm not saying it is suitable for each and every company, but in most of the company, they have been thinking how they can create their product, more thinking about not just customer needs, but what customer might want extra, just not the satisfaction, but beyond that. I mean, that's how the Jeff Bezos says, right? He's a very customer-centric businessman. He likes to satisfy his customers by his, fantastic delivery and quality and everything. But at the same time, he thinks that customer always, in their mind, they want something extra from you. So you have to just think that what that extra is, So that's the important consideration again. So I just take an example of, I'm not Malaysian, but since 7-8 years I'm in Malaysia. That's one of my favorite Morocco. I love that Morocco, and I have seen they have not changed their packaging. This is exactly how you just get it in the shop. So that probably is the lean supply chain. This company know how much is their production, how much mass production they have to do, how much deliverable, what kind of deliverable. So they just consider as per the cost. They know what their customer wants. their driving factor is, cost, and their product life cycle is long. They don't think about the analytics and all those things what we have been just talking. It's not like they will take the customer feedback and they will make changes, or they're going to change their packaging, or they're going to create 10 different products around it. It's going to be Morocco Ikan. It's been there for many years, and it's going to be like that. It's a legacy. But as I mentioned, some of these fast fashion brands, even your food and beverages, you will see, there will be always something new. They will come up with a new flavor, or they will, have different packaging, make life easy by adding few other things to it and all those things. So another example for lean would be like a Panadol. It's a basic need. You would not really create something fancy around it. Panadol is going to be Panadol. They know in Malaysia how much is going to be the demand. As per that, they will make the production. They will be selling it all those different, Watson and Eon pharmacies. So that's how it is going to be. So that's the lean supply chain, which has been already there. But the agile supply chain is more, consultative. They do incorporate the forecasting mechanism in it. Their stockpiles are going to be like very, very volatile. Their capacity is not like going to be like a, mass production. There will be small production. They again change that, so that's the basics of agile supply chain. So I think that's most of the important points which I wanted to cover. Of course, there is a future of bitcoins, and blockchains, and a lot of different technologies. And as I mentioned, it's very inevitable that for you and even for us, we have to keep learning these new technologies, and we have to keep moving, ahead of these technologies. But at the same time, these are our learnings, at the Consus. I can definitely tell you that always think about your customer. Always, you have to create the visibility, transparency, and you have to think of cost. Always, no matter how many trends keeps coming and going, these fundamentals will always remain same. So, as I mentioned, that. Supply chain management, previously till a few years back, was considered as a back-end function. But that's not the case anymore. Everybody, most of the large organization has started seriously looking at it as a profit center. You will be also be very pleased to hear that previously most of the CEOs and leaderships were coming from either sales background or finance background. And now they are also coming from supply chain background. So it's a great change, and you guys have a great future ahead if you, consider and never forget all these important factors. Just a takeaway from my side, and that's something what we always, I think, practice in our company. No matter how big your organization becomes, no matter how big supply chain professional you become, don't forget to think like a startup company. Always be very resilient, always be ready to make the changes. So that's only a way to keep going, so that this crisis like pandemics or the other factors which I mentioned will not disrupt your company profits and success drastically. So that's something take away from my side. I want to wish you all good luck. And we are here in Bangsar South. Our office is here. I'm based out of Kuala Lumpur. And because of pandemic, anyways, I'm not traveling anywhere. So in case if you have any questions, you want to meet up and you want to ask more about technologies and different services, and how do we help our customers in resolving their procurement and supply chain related challenges using actual real life case studies. And I'm very, very happy to share it with you. So let me know if you are interested. So thank you, everyone. And after the break, we can talk about some questions if you have.
Thank you so much. Very interesting sharing session. Oh, you are here. I thought you are out of Malaysia.
No, I'm here. I'm very much here. You can,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think students are very happy to have you in future as well.
Yeah. I hope next time we don't have to do the virtual one, and by that time the MCO is lifted, then we can actually have a face-to-face session for everyone.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Karin. Perhaps we can open for Q&A session. Yeah.
Karen said it's going to be like a small break, right, Karen?
Yeah,
Small break. Oh, break
small
first.
break
Okay.
for 50 minutes.
Okay, just let us know lah, if everything in place, so that we can continue with the Q&A session. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay, guys. If you guys want to know more about this company, you guys can scan this QR code and then or click into this website to know what actually this company works and how it works during the past few years. And also there's a LinkedIn account. Maybe you guys also can just check it out. I read about the company from these two quotes. And there will be a sign up Google form be posting later. So yes, yes, Mohammed. Yeah, there will be attendance after this.
So, Dr. Siti, all the students are like a final year students, or they are all different year students?
Mix.
Mix.
They are from yeah. Some from diploma students, some are degree students. Perhaps there will be also master students.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Okay.
because we open for everyone.
Okay. It would be really exciting to meet your students.
Yeah, I was thinking to arrange for the face-to-face meeting lah next semester if the conditions is a permit lah, yeah.
So, how's your
Okay.
semesters? Is it Jan to August or like?
Okay, basically we have 3 semesters in a year. Now we are in May, August.
Okay.
And then the next semester will start in September, October, and we
Okay.
continue next year, January, April.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Okay, perhaps we can continue with the Q&A session, yeah?
Sure. Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. So, Seto, perhaps you will have a question to ask to Miss Madhuri.
I have a few questions. That is my worry.
Okay, one question first.
Okay, maybe I just start with the more current reasoning. Is you mentioned about the problem you're facing about the ERE problem. Is it considered very recent? Like, is it like a 5-year ago problem, or is this a very recent problem?
Which problem? Can I didn't get the
ERP, the ERP.
Oh, so okay. So I was actually telling you from the how the evolution happened, for supply chain. So
Right.
when the internet happened, with that this all solution came up. So I just was basically telling you from my experience that it is the basically deploying technologies was a bit tedious. Of course it comes with they are expensive at the same time. So, but now even if you see the ERP solutions, they are not on premise. They are also coming as cloud solutions.
I see.
So the future of ERP you will definitely see is much easier because the cloud solutions are much easier compared to on-premise solution to deploy.
Why is that?
Because on-premise solution, you will have actually the hardware. You have to first of all think about the space. The integrations and all are different. But in cloud computing, it's much easier. Yeah.
Because in terms of like, I just want to understand more. So it's like, because there is more data we can pull up from with less space, so we can at least have a better analyzation. Is that?
Yeah, so in cloud computing, your data is stored, in some other places, right? I mean, it could be in Hong Kong, Singapore, like in our case, the kind of solutions what we have been, offering in the market. The database is somewhere in US, in Europe, Hong Kong, and then you can avail that even for Malaysia, right?
Okay, all right. That's all. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I'll open for others because I actually do still have more, but
Okay,
I'll
regard
open to
that
others.
said, I have
We can
Okay.
always, you can send me,
I
let's
have
say
a
if you
question
don't
here.
have enough time, you can share the questions and, I can either record it or I can send you in writing also. Not a problem.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any other questions before I read the questions? Okay. All right. A questions from Ng Ji Yuan. Just want to know, is voice recognitions or voice command in the warehouse or any other logistics activities? Or voice command in the warehouse only, I think, or in any other logistic activities. You can see in the meeting chat, Miss Madhuri.
Where can I see?
Meeting chat. Okay, the question says, is the voice
Under
recognitions or
conversation.
voice command, okay,
Can't see
applicable in
this.
the warehouse only? I think. Okay, can you see? Okay, let me summarize for
Oh
you,
yeah.
the questions.
Okay.
The
Now,
last one. Can you see?
oh yeah, just now the voice recognition or voice command in warehouse or other logistic activities. Okay, I'm not really a warehouse or logistic expert to say that. But yes, I think the technology is going to touch, all the different business units, as I mentioned, and definitely warehousing will be one of it. Yeah.
Throughout your discussions, your sharing session just now, you did mention about the technology. You did mention about the people itself. So in the practical world, supply chain tasks are more into quali or quantitative? Qualitative or quantitative?
Ah, okay. So both supply chain and logistic, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good question. So I think it's a blended effort. We can't really say that it's a qualitative or quantitative. I think it's equally both. Because in few areas we have to have a quantitative approach to measure the efficiency and performance in numbers, and in other cases we have to basically gauge that with the in the qualitative descriptive, especially when it comes to the descriptive problems and their solutions. So for example, if we have to talk about the quantitative performances, then I think we have to look at the some of the logistic areas like your truck loading, your truck capacity, trucking life, your depreciation cost, your loading, unloading time, your transition time, all those things. Because no matter what, how technology changes, I think these the quantitative factors will still remain there, to define your KPIs, right? To measure the performances. And then for the qualitative performances, or the qualitative measures, I think it's about how I mean, as simple as for your transportation, the road conditions, or your driver performances, or your supplier performances, fuel quality, all these indicators. I think define the quality. So just trying to take few examples for you to understand. And there is much more. I mean, this is something what comes in my mind actually right now.
Okay. Thank you for the well explained the difference between these two. Okay, based on my experience, this is another question. Based on my experience, I met a lot of practitioners out there. Okay, perhaps including yourself,
Yeah.
the qualification that most of them having is not in logistics or supply chain itself. Okay, so based on
Yeah.
your based on your what we call it, the experience, what is the advantage of supply chain study, supply chain or logistics study compared to the other program?
Okay. I think this is okay. I can share my own experience, right? I mean, as I mentioned, I'm a electronic and telecom engineer. I am not a supply chain. I haven't studied supply chain like you guys. I think you guys are very fortunate to get your fundamentals very clear before you join all this organization outside. So unlike many other industries, I think supply chain, I think I mentioned it during my speech as well. it's a vast industry in itself, right? In supply chain, as I mentioned, you can be a coder. If you're very good in IT, you can be part of the, as a ERP or those procurement or, different warehousing solution implementation team. You can be part of those technology companies. You can be, supply chain or, procurement practitioners in the large or small or startup organizations. You can have your own consulting companies. You can be supply chain or procurement advisor. You can provide various different services like as we guys do. So I think there are many different career options are available there. Unlike as you mentioned the other industries, I think this offers a lot more. Yeah.
Okay, beside the theoretical knowledge, and what is the other practical knowledge that the students have to have in their self in order to join in the logistics industry?
I think the practical knowledge, I would say they should really look for internship and, getting in touch with, companies like us or even the other, large organization. Maybe it's, Nestle, Unilever or other lot of Malaysian company. Maybe you can connect with MDEC for that. And because what they all cover. So working or getting associated with all these companies can give them actual practical aspect, because I think in theory you guys have already studied everything. That's why I think yesterday also I asked Benjamin and Karen, whatever I'm talking, have you guys studied this? So he said, yeah, I mean some of this terminologies we are already studying, but we are actually missing the practical aspect of it or practical angle of it. So if you get associated with all these technology companies like ours, you can actually see how we have been in a practical world, how we are helping our clients. If you're lucky, maybe you can get associated with companies in their actual projects, as a part of your internship program. And you can help us, in completing these projects, and you can see the life cycle of the project, what sort of challenges customer face, how do we use technologies, the talent, the experience, all of that together, combined together, how do we solve those issues? So that they can understand.
Okay, there is a few more other questions in the chat board, meeting
Wow.
chat. Or you want me to read, or you read your own? You select which one you want to answer, is it?
Wow, okay. I hope I can answer all. That's the most important bit. Okay, I think this definitely I thought is going to come, that what is going to be uh, how is your opinion towards how was the supply chain and logistic market after the pandemic, right? So, as I mentioned, the technology never thought about the crisis, right? I mean, pandemic it's really, really has disrupted or affected supply chain, for most of the companies. When it started in China and then later part to Italy, we all have seen, how difficult it was for many companies, because all those shipments and empty containers were just piling there. You were not getting the supply on time for your production, so all that disruption happened. But as I said, disruption can generally disrupt your supply chain, or it can actually slow down. So for many companies, they have actually have thought through in a different approach. They prepared themselves for it. So having the localized supply database, or localize the logistic management, I think those things have helped. I mean, just one of example for this is Nike. I think Nike, yeah, they have been talking about replacing their human resources with some 1,200, 1,500 machines. Something where they can have outside US, outside cities. to basically remove most of this repetitive task and reduce the overall logistic time and all those things. So I think it is good for companies sustainability. I mean, after pandemic, if they think like that, how to use technology to make their companies more sustainable. But there is also the green part of it is it will be also losing, or there is a threat of losing many jobs, right, for many human resources. So probably I think in next some time we all have to think about how we can strike a balance of that. But yes, it's been really disrupted, for most of the companies. And we were actually as a consulting, we we find ourselves very fortunate that we could help many companies during this pandemic time. We actually help many companies providing them mask, or all those essential safety kits and all across the globe. When especially when the pandemic started in China, it was very, very difficult. So yeah, I mean, as a supply chain professionals, whatever we could do, I mean, not just as a part of our work, but even outside of that, we helped not just us, but probably many other companies, and we also helped many companies because there were a lot of dependency on a single source supply. Most of the supplies were coming from China, and then suddenly, because China was not in a lockdown, then everybody had to think about their localized supply chain. So to build that also in certain extent, we were lucky enough to help or contribute to some of our customers in that aspect as well.
Okay, with regard to that questions, what, in your opinion, what is the future for this industry during this MCO, during this pandemic?
As I mentioned, the trends. I mean, that's what I very selectively. I only spoke about the green supply chain. I spoke about this omni-channel supply chain. The analytics. So I think the analytics and all makes it's very important because it helps us to make those what is the word for it? The more it helps us to take the more informed decisions, right? So that's what I mean. My suggestion to all the students is that we just need to be very resilient. We have to, with the help of technology or otherwise, we just need to think of very responsive supply chain. That we should be always ready to make that change, no matter the this kind of crisis happened, or it can even happen in future. If as long as our solution is resilient, it's responsive, we can sustain in the market, right? We can still create success and we can still create profit. I mean, even this situation, a lot of companies like Amazon, even Bill Gates, they all are making money, even during this pandemic. It's just because they are ahead of time, they are ahead of all these technologies, and that's that thinking, I think, is very, very important.
Which includes your company, right? Or Consus company, because I believe you guys not affected a lot, right? Because everything you did online, is it?
I don't want to say that we are not affected, but we do not have fat in our company. We are really handpick 120 plus supply chain experts or practitioners, right? I mean, we do not really just hire people if we don't need them at first place. So because of that, we do not fortunately we didn't get that need to downsize and all that during the pandemic. We find ourselves really fortunate. Yeah, that's really great. Of course, we had to make few tweaks and changes in our overall thinking, in our finances, so that we keep our cost low. And also safety of our employees came first during the pandemic. It just last month or so, we all, at least in Malaysia, Thailand, I think we started, coming back to office. Most of the other places, I think, people are still working from home. But thankfully, there is a very minimal disruption. Again, the major factor is because of, the way we have been working with our customers. We have been offering them many, different solutions, even during pandemic, to ensure that their current pandemic challenges are also we can work on those, during this time, even though we are working from home. So with that, our customer are also very happy. They have been paying us on time. They have been also allowing all our consultants to work from home. And I think we have been managing it fine. So far, touch wood, there is very less disruption. But yes, we have to think about cost. We have to think about, futuristically, that what we are going to do. We can't just keep doing the same things, right? We have to keep making changes in our offerings. We have to continuously keep connected with our customers and suppliers, our third parties, partners, to ensure, that ecosystem is not disrupted.
Yeah, that's the challenge lah in the whole operation management basically. I hope this your explanation just now also answering Winnie Theo Wenling questions, because she's very concerned on this pandemic as well, before and after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that majority of students who posted in the meeting chat is from logistics. So hopefully you can share with them what is the career choice for them after they complete their study.
Okay, I'm not again as a logistic expert as I mentioned, but as I told you, I think the one of the first question was what choices do we have in career. So as I said, the supply chain itself such a huge business, itself, and it's emerging, is evolving drastically. Right, so with the help of technology and with the services and all available in the market, I think you guys have a great career choices. You can either join some of those large organizations. You can have your own startup companies. You can, be the part of the implementation teams, who have been implementing all these different technologies. Or creating these technologies, these products. I think, the choices are too many. Yeah, but I can probably work on the specific to this logistic question, because you are more interested in logistic. Maybe I can get back to you with more details around it. Yeah.
They are very, 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 very happy to have you. Okay, and then they ask you, your
Thank
company
you.
offer internship or not?
Oh, why not? We do offer, and we are always looking for the local talent. What better can be that you guys have been studying it, and you're coming with your strong fundamentals, right? I mean, see us. I mean, we are not. We haven't. I haven't studied. Some of my colleagues, they haven't studied it as a part of their academics. Most of our company resources, they are engineers, either electronics or computer IT engineers, and then they have, so we of course have studied procurement and supply chain, working with various different organizations. So we have a lot of practical knowledge, and then yes, we have done a lot of study. We do encourage our employees to go through various certifications, various courses. So we keep enhancing our knowledge base, but having somebody like you guys who have already studied supply chain, and then you go, join us, that will just give us another winning edge. So definitely I'm looking forward to that. You can send your applications.
You only mentioned about the local students. How about international?
All of them, because we are not a local company, right? We, as I mentioned, we are a global company. And even though we have these 7 offices, all over the globe, like, we have in Americas, in Dubai, I mean, in New York, we have our office. In Dubai, we have office in Malaysia, we have it in Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam. This start of the year, we started our office in Vietnam as well. In India, we have offices. So apart from these offices, we have been also have our footprints in many countries. I mean, more than 20 countries. Some of our consultants, they are also in Israel. They are in Cape Town. They are in China right now. Some of them are in Hua Hin in Thailand. In all different places. So we have requirements everywhere. So not just in Malaysia. So yeah, I mean, if there is a right talent, why not? We would be looking forward to have you with us.
Fantastic. All right. We will keep in touch on how they can apply to your company,
Sure.
hopefully. Okay,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we are good here. Okay, I leave it to Karin because Karin have a few announcements to make to all of the participants. Okay, Karin, over to you.
Okay, so now my technical team will share a picture on screen later. So for the audience, please screenshot and then to do it during to submit for your ELE point. And then also the sign out form is released on the chat box. So please remember to sign up to do this sign out form in order to get your ELE point and your SWA point. Okay, maybe. And then for this this on-screen sharing will be sharing for about 5 minutes. So hurry up. Anyone who still haven't screenshot yet? Please do it quickly. Okay. Then you can switch to the token of appreciation. Okay, Dr. Siti.
Yes, okay. I think, all right, thank you so much. Ms. Madhuri, this is for you. We do it virtually, right? Thank you so much for your time. Okay, I think students learn a lot. Okay, we believe that the knowledge is.
That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks to you, actually.
Yeah, you can only see me talking, but actually, it's not just me. I also have to thank our marketing head Poonam and our business development head Addy, because they are the one who have been doing all in the background. I was very busy with my work, and they pulled it out with Karen and Benjamin and you. So thank you everyone, and I really look forward to engage with you again.
All right. So before we have a screenshot for our thank you thank you note later on. Okay. Perhaps you have a final words to share with all of the participants.
I can just tell you, you guys are very fortunate that you are studying this. As I mentioned, it's supply chain as the way people look at supply chain has changed. It is no more back-end system. It's a profit center. Most of the CEOs and leaderships are coming from supply chain background. So give a pat on your back, good career choice. But here onwards, as I mentioned, since sometimes too many choices also can be a problem. So please see that where your actual interest lies. Do you love coding? Do you love to work for the larger organization as a supply chain in supply chain departments, or you want to put your more focus on logistic, or you want to do warehousing? So what exactly you want to do? I think make that career choice. And before that, I think Dr. Siti made a very good point. What you have to do, maybe you have to gain that practical knowledge, get quickly associated with companies like us, or contact MDEC in Malaysia or similar companies across the globe, and try to get that practical knowledge, so that you understand the customer challenges. Because no matter how much technology and how much study in theory we do, till the time we actually get that practical understanding and we hear from customers and their challenges, that journey is incomplete. So you got to really work on that. So good luck, everyone, and let's talk again soon.
Okay, Miss Madhuri, let's have a group
What's next?
photo. Let's have a group photo of the days.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Owen.
Where is the rest? Right?
Hi, Yan Ming.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
Oh, sorry, it's just a group photo with the committees. Yeah, just group photo with committees.
Do I have to smile? Are we taking a photo?
Wait. Jerome, are you ready?
One more person.
Okay, let me know when we are ready.
Right. We're taking. Press your eyes, smile. 3,
Okay.
2, smile. All right. 3, 2, 1. One more. In 3. In 3, 2, 1. Right.
Okay, thumbs up, everyone.
Right. Sure.
Thank you.
One more.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Okay.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Right. Thanks.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We will be sharing with you, Miss Madhuri, all the after event report. So hopefully we'll be very happy with that. Okay,
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Let
thank
me
you.
know if you have more questions. You can email it to us. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right,
Alright.
bye.
Thanks, Miss
Bye-bye.
Madhuri. Thanks,
Thank
Siti.
you.
Siti.